Gator Guards Pro, Casey Scanlon here, and today we're going to do the install of a keel shield here on your bass boat. The first step is you're going to want to make sure you got all the proper tools. I've got my keel shield laid out right here. You're going to make sure that it's warm, that it's laid flat so it's easier to work with, and I've laid out all the tools in front of me here. First of all, I've got some alcohol that's used to clean any of the surfaces. Make sure you got all your residue off of there. Some Scotch tape to mark off the area that you're working inside of. We've got an adhesive activator wipe right here. You're going to put that on there, rub it all over that surface that you're working inside of before you stick the actual keel shield here. You got this little plastic piece which you're going to use to make sure that your keel shield's flat and that it's laid on there smooth, there's no wrinkles, and so that's going to help you even it out as you're doing the install. And then you got this pad right here, it's real rough. You're going to use that before you stick the keel shield to rough up the surface. Also, we got a pair of gloves, that way you can protect yourself, don't get any of this adhesive on your hands, and a pencil to mark off the area that you're going to tape and work inside of. Also want to make sure that you've got some paper towels or a clean white towel. That way you can make sure all the residue is off of the boat before you actually stick this keel shield on here. And lastly, we've got some directions in here. So every box should have a instruction booklet in it, and it'll help you install this keel shield very easily. Very easy to do yourself. We're inside of my garage right now, so we're going to lay this thing out and show you how to install it. All right, now we're ready to begin the keel shield install. We're here at the front of the boat, and we want to make sure that we have the keel shield marked and started properly before we begin the install. So what you want to do is make sure that you measure 2 inches behind the bow hook, and that's where you're going to start the keel shield. Also, you want to make sure that that keel shield is 6 to 9 inches above the water line. So what we're going to do here is tape it off 2 inches behind the bow hook to get started, and we're going to kind of lay this keel shield out, trace around it, lay some tape out, and just kind of get the groundwork started for the install. Once we have it traced out and taped, we're going to start kind of roughing up the fiberglass surface so we can apply some adhesive and get this thing started. All right, we're going to measure back from this bow hook right here about 2 inches. I'm going to put a little mark on the hole right there with my pencil or crayon, and then I'm going to crawl underneath there and tape it up. All right guys, what we're going to do here to get started is we're going to place our piece of tape right where we want to begin that keel shield. So now we're going to trace around the edge of the keel shield. We're going to tape it up here as well, right at this start here, and we're going to trace out our workspace with this Scotch tape right here. Tape the keel shield right here at our starting point. It's nice to have a friend to help you out, make sure you get this lined up even. So what we're going to do is get started. We're just going to make sure that this is in the proper spot, and I'm going to just kind of tape it there so we can get an outline going on. So you want to use some good tape. Get my pencil, and we're going to trace around this now. So we're going to slowly kind of line this up, and pencil or crayon, we're just going to kind of make a rough line on here all the way down. That way we get it lined on straight, and after that we're going to use the pencil marks to kind of lay out our tape here. Make sure we got a nice working space. Always handy to have a helping hand here to make sure that you get it on straight. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to trace the outline of this keel shield, and then we're going to stick the tape, and that'll create our working space where we can then kind of rough up the surface and get ready to actually stick this keel shield on. All right, now that we have our working space taped off and traced out, we're going to want to use this Brillo pad that comes in your keel guard packaging, and we're going to use it to rough up the fiberglass. It's going to give you a lot better adhesion when you stick the keel shield on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the front here and just kind of work our way back, rough up that surface, and it'll get this white kind of chalky look to it. And when you're done, you're going to put the alcohol on there, kind of clean that off and make sure you get all the residue. But in the meantime, we're going to mark up this surface inside of our working area and just get the prep work started. All right, now that we've roughed up our surface, we're going to start by applying some rubbing alcohol using these paper towels or a clean white cloth. What we're going to do is put the alcohol on this cloth or paper towel, and we're just going to kind of rub some of the residue that we scraped up using the pad here. So we're gonna wipe this down until the rag is clean, and we're gonna make sure that we got all the tape off of there, where we can line this keel shield up and get it installed. All right, now we have the boat wiped down with the rubbing alcohol. All the residue is off of the boat and it's clean surface. Now we're gonna use the Gator Guards adhesive activator wipe. So we're gonna put gloves on our hands, make sure that we don't get any of this stuff on the wipe on our hands or touch it while it's on the boat. We'll kind of contaminate it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna glove up, we're gonna wipe the area that we've sanded down, and then we're going to allow it to dry for 5 minutes before we start applying the keel shield. So we've wiped the boat down with the adhesive activation wipes. We've let it dry for 5 minutes, and now we're getting ready to stick the keel guard. Basically, it's going to be right here on the 7th line in is going to be the center. So there's going to be 6 little strips on each side of that. You want to make sure that you line it up perfectly here in the center, and make sure that when you stick it, that it's in the right spot, because once you start putting it on here, it's really hard to get off. So I'm going to start by kind of peeling this center strip back. We have 3 strips on the back of this. You want to start at the center, lay it on there down the center line all the way down the hole, and then once we get it pressed on there, we're going to start by taking off these side strips here to expose the adhesive backing, and we're going to slowly just work our way down the hull of the boat and stick this keel shield on. So we've got the middle stuck. Now we're going to peel off each side. We've got it centered. And now we're just going to work our way down, make sure this thing sticks. Hopefully this video helps you on your keel shield install. Check out more products from Gator Guards at gatorguards.com.